For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thanks for tuning in at SoundCloud, on iTunes, and thescribbleshow.com. I almost forgot that one. And remember to follow us on Twitter at The Scribble Show. So we are just days away from Christmas. For us here, it is December 18th, and I've been asking you every week this month, have you finished your Christmas shopping? And my answer is no. And I'm like most guys, that I probably won't finish until maybe Wednesday, Thursday-ish. But would love to hear your status update on shopping. Give me a shout. jb@jbonair.com is the email address, jb@jbonair.com. You know, we had a discussion about this where most broadcast outlets now and shows will sort of just give you the Twitter or the Facebook page or whatever it is. And for me, I'm still old school like that. I still email. Hey, it's not like I'm telling you to fax us. I just prefer email. I do. And I've done many social media rants on this show as well, so we know my thoughts on that. I just don't have the time to spend there. At least email is a little bit more efficient, for me anyway. Maybe not for most people, but it is for me. For those who once ran offices back in the day, yes, it absolutely was. Earlier this month, on Top of the Charts, we celebrated our 500th weekly show, and we had Joy Behar and Taylor Hicks from American Idol call in as they were surprise guests. So we haven't had the opportunity to play those interviews or those chats on this podcast, so we're doing that this week. We talked about Christmas, we talked about Taylor's new music, and so we're going to be getting into that in just a few minutes. And, you know, last week I mentioned that we were in Quebec City to tape our Christmas shows and our travel tourism broadcast for the syndicated radio shows, and that we would play some of the audio from those. But unfortunately, we don't have time today. So what you can do is you can go to the website. It's quebec.jbonair.com. Quebec, quebec.jbonair.com. And you can take a look at there's pictures and interviews and just pages of really fun stuff that we did while we were in the city there. So quebec.jbonair.com. Again, I do apologize that we don't have time to run those clips on the show today, but we do have Joy Behar and Taylor Hicks coming up right after this.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 41.com. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom41.com.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on The Scribble. All right, so I did mention that Joy Behar and Taylor Hicks were on our 500th radio show for Top of the Charts. So we're going to play those clips for you now. Now, of course, we're not celebrating 500 episodes of The Scribble. We're not quite there yet. But I did want to give you, because we had some fun with them on the radio. So here's Joy Behar when she called into the show.
Celeb spotting on The Scribble.
All right. Oh, once again, the celebrity phone lighting up. Love when this happens. I never know who's calling in. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, it's Joy Behar from The View calling, and congratulations on your 500th show.
Well, thank you very much, Joy. Yeah, you know, just to remind everybody, we had you on for The View's 3000th show. We're not quite there yet. We're only weekly, but
did. Oh, I was so young then.
You know what? I get it now, though. You're calling. You aren't fired again. We're not hiring Joy. We're just.
Why? There are rumors that they're getting fired?
No.
They just hired me.
I know. And you know what? A great addition. I think they made a really good choice bringing you back. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, the holidays, though, are right around the corner. I gotta know, have you already finished your shopping? Is everyone checked off your list already?
Well, it's a big list because I'm now back at the View and everybody has to get a gift here. And there's a lot of people. I mean, I like to do that. Not everybody likes to do that, but I do. And I buy special gifts for the producers because I have to think, who are they? So I've been in the middle of it though already because I started early this time. I can't wait till the last minute. It makes me too anxious.
Yeah. So, like Black Friday though, were you tasering anybody? Were you throwing punches?
No. I don't leave the house. What are you, crazy? Maybe I'll go to Pottery Barn. That's as far off the beaten path I'll go. No, I don't go schlepping around anymore. I do it online, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of the craziness, though, of Black Friday? I'm sure you've seen the videos of people just, beating the hell out of each other.
Well, I've seen that, and it's kind of lame because the same sales exist before and after Black Friday, so I don't think people are paying attention. It doesn't seem like it's that big a deal.
No, and at the
a lot of the deals were on Cyber Monday, which you can do online, especially with technology. So I don't see the points. That doesn't interest me. It never did. I don't like crowds. I don't go into crowds. No.
Yeah, it sort of tarnishes the thought of giving, I think, at that point.
Right.
Yeah. So,
right.
What are some of your family traditions at Christmas? What do you look forward to?
Well, on Christmas Eve, I'm Italian, so we do the 7 fishes, and my son-in-law, who apparently has picked up the tradition from his family, he's very intent on doing the 7 fishes. I mean, he means it. I'm happy to do 1 fish, but we do like shrimp, they do clams, reganata, and a lot of other little bacala salad. He does a whole bunch of things. I contribute a lasagna. That's my contribution.
Oh, nice. Are you like our family where we're almost practically Jewish because we do like 3 days of Christmas? We've got to get every side of the family, right?
No. We don't have that big a family anymore, unfortunately. But we do it one night, Christmas Eve at my daughter's and Christmas Day at my house. That's how we do it.
Nice. And,
yeah. And then, of course, I have my grandson this year, so it's very, I mean, I had him he's going to be 5 in February, so, I've had him every year now. It's been incredibly fun when you have a child around at Christmas. It makes the whole thing work. Santa and the whole bit, and he wants to know why Santa has to come down the chimney. How can he fit? Why can't he come in the door? There's all sorts of questions they have, which are always fun at Christmas, and you have to make up things for them to keep it going.
Absolutely. And doesn't it change things, though? My mom said that she's got 3 kids, but then as soon as the grandkids comes around, it seems like Christmas takes on a whole new thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, they tear through their gifts. One year, my cousin Vincent, when I was a kid, and he's younger than me, I remember all he got were clothing. All he got was clothing from, like, a whole big Italian family. And every time he opened it, he went to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and it just kept being shirts and pants, and the kid almost had a nervous breakdown. By the end of it, he just burst into tears, crying hysterically. That was a fun year for him.
Oh, you got to have a sense of humor like my dad, because then the toys would just be wrapped in the clothing so that we'd get that surprise after, right?
That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that this year, Luca, to just freak him out a little bit. It'd be fun.
Yeah. So what do you guys have coming up on the show then? A sneak peek of some of your guests, maybe?
We've got Huckabee coming on, and I'm going to grill him on gun control. I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on in this world, in this country. We're out of control here. There's like a madness that's happening that needs to be dealt with. So that's one thing we'll ask him about. And, of course, his opinion on Trump and the rest of the Republicans who are running. And then Raven is having a party next week because it's her 30th birthday, and she's all psyched about that. We love to celebrate people's birthdays on this show. When it was my birthday, we had Jay Leno. They surprised me with Jay Leno, which is always fun. We have Ron Howard coming on. We've got, Jack Hanna's coming on. I love Jack Hanna. He used to be on Carson all the time with animals.
Right.
That's always a fun thing. The entire cast of Downton, not the entire cast, but about 4 of the cast members from Downton Abbey are coming. Do you watch that show?
You know what? I haven't seen it, but no, I hear all about it.
How could you not have missed it? It's been on for years, and everybody's watching it. You never watched it?
I'm out of the loop. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Well, you have something to look forward to, because that means you can binge watch it.
Yeah. What are your binge watch shows?
Well, right now I'm not binging anything because I'm watching Homeland and The Affair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, The Affair is great.
Those are great shows, the two of them. I mean, I just can't wait for Sunday night. And then I fall asleep, of course, because it's late. And then I watch them on Monday, and I sit there with, a nice glass of wine at night, and I watch it. It's just the best. But binging, I have all of Netflix. I have Acorn TV. I'm a Brit fan. I love British television. I love British mysteries and historical dramas and all that stuff. So I binge a lot of that. One time I just watched the entire several seasons of Upstairs, Downstairs. I must have had the flu. Because I was just watching that for days and days, I remember. Anyway, that's what's happening on our show.
Nice. And then one final question then. Do you have a holiday movie that you have to watch every year?
Well, I wish they would put on It's a Wonderful Life every year, because it never gets old, that movie, for some reason. It just never gets old. And I love Bad Santa.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Yes.
With the guy, what's his name? He used to be married to Angelina Jolie.
Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah.
He's hilarious in Bad Santa. It's like the opposite of what you want in Christmas. But then you have it happened. What's the name of the movie? I don't know what I'm thinking of, with Jimmy Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life, yeah.
So you put that against Bad Santa, and now you have the whole picture of Christmas and what it is and how great it is.
Oh, well, I love hearing from you, Joy. Thanks so much for calling in and celebrating with us. We're going to be watching The View weekdays.
Congrats again. Congrats on your 500 show. That's quite an accomplishment in
thank
radio
you.
these days.
Yeah, 9.5 years. Thank you so much. The View weekdays on ABC. Check your local listings. Merry Christmas to you, Joy.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just one day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-478-9568 and get your free bottle. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-478-9568. That's 800-478-9568.
All right, continuing on our 500th show, the celebrity phone once again lighting up. I hate when we do that. I never know who's calling in. Let's go to the phone right now. Hello, you're on the air.
It's Taylor Hicks.
Hey, Taylor Hicks, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Taylor. How's it going?
I'm good.
Good to hear.
Congratulations.
Well,
500 shows.
Yes, thank you. You know what? In radio, it's one thing, but in TV, as we know, that sometimes you get 3 episodes and you're done. So we've done pretty well for ourselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And you know what? I hate what Jimmy Fallon did to you. I thought you were a shoo-in for the Tonight Show. You get that? What I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
He's a
great guy. We did the skit with Rebecca Black's Friday.
Yeah.
That was he's such a great guy, and it's one of my favorite shows on TV.
Yeah, well, I guess if people don't get the joke, is that I know that you hear it a lot, that you look like Jay Leno because of the color of your hair, right?
Yeah, not the chin. Thank goodness it's not the chin, it's the hair.
Hey, but you know what? The paycheck would be good too, though, right? A Jay Leno paycheck would be awesome.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here, actually. Can you do your best impersonation of Jay Leno?
Nobody's ever asked me to do that. I'm trying to think of a good joke. Thank you for coming out to the Tonight Show. We've got a great show tonight. Taylor Hicks, my long-lost son's going to be on the show.
You know what I'm waiting for next, then? Is I'm waiting for Jimmy to do his impersonation of you impersonating Leno. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be funny.
All right, so, Christmas is right around the corner, and I know that it's a special time for a lot of people, especially you, because you've got new music out, which we'll talk about in just a second. You've got these restaurants now, and I'm kind of getting hungry here. How did you get into restaurants? You've got a barbecue and then soul food, right?
Yeah, when you're in the South and, soul food and barbecue, they kind of go hand in hand. I'm a big foodie, and I'll definitely put my time in touring and traveling, and, Saws is a great it's such a great idea from a barbecue perspective. It's kind of it's a little bit of a culinary twist on barbecue. I mean, there's, you have your staple barbecue stuff, but then we have some specials, and I'm just very pleased that it's gotten the accolades that it has in the last year. It's really taken off.
Okay, so with the holidays here, let's talk food then, because I'm partial to shortbread cookies and eggnog. What's your holiday staple? What do you have to have at the holidays?
I love turkey and dressings.
Yeah.
That's dressing and stuffing. That's kind of my weakness. I only eat it one time a year, and that's during Christmas, and I look forward to that.
Isn't that's the funny you mentioned that, because I think about it now, and I will only eat my grandma's meatballs. It seems like that's only a Christmas thing. I don't think I ever eat them any other time of the year. She makes them all the time, but it's just a Christmas thing for me. That's kind of funny.
That's definitely a staple of I just enjoy, food is a big thing for me. I love, having, family and friends for Christmas time, and it's always nice to see family and friends.
Yeah, and it is. It's about that special time together. And, as we get older, we start to appreciate that a little bit more. As a kid, right, you want the presents, you want the good stuff. So let's get materialistic here for a second. What's on your list this year? If you could just have, one sort of big-ticket item, what would you have?
A boat.
A boat?
But that's probably what do they say about, you always want to be on the best boat that you can be on is someone else's boat?
Yeah.
I would probably say a boat if I could have something. Something was just going to fall out of the sky.
Yeah, that's right. So, and then let's flip this around then. So what's the worst gift that you ever got for Christmas? I know, of course, it's always the thought that counts. I know. But what's the worst gift you ever got?
The worst gift? I would probably say, a bad set of crayons.
Okay.
When I was a kid.
And we do have special moments with our loved ones over Christmas, so let's talk about that then, especially with your charitable ventures that you have on the go this time of year. What can you tell us about those?
I do a lot with Toys for Tots around Christmas time. I feel like, when a child can get a toy for Christmas, that's, always, it's such a great organization because it doesn't deal in money, it deals in toys. And, that's something that I've always, wanted to be a part of, and that's something that we all, and obviously thanking our veterans and making sure that they have a good Christmas.
That's really what it's all about, because, it's not about how many toys you get or how big the box is that you're opening. It's the fact that someone thought and cared enough to get you something. And I think that nowadays kids are starting to appreciate it, maybe a little bit more, because times are tough, right? Households, it doesn't seem like we can afford very much sometimes. And so it is. It's the little, I'm sure even like a box of crayons, right, would be just thrilling for some of these kids, and that's awesome.
Yep, and that's something about, the Toys for Tots, Marines Toys for Tots, is that they do a really good job of really placing the toy in the hand of the child, and that's, that hopefully makes their Christmas.
Going back to childhood, I'm sure you went to midnight mass, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and your memories of that really impacted when you were recording Silent Night, right? It really is. I love the song. It's one of my favorites. And when we started recording, it brought me back to that time period, and so I was able to kind of recreate some of that nostalgia, so to speak. You flip back into being a kid again, right? I mean, for me, it was a super late night. That's what I remember, and then it was just dark, and then the candles and the ambiance. It was, and it still is incredible.
And that's something about that song just is really touching, and it's what Christmas is all about.
Sing Silent Night as Jay Leno. No, I'm kidding. So the rush of the holidays and the craziness of December is going on. But what are you working on in 2016? What can you expect? What can we expect from you in the next while?
I've got a record coming out in 2016. I've been working on it for a good while, and I'm excited about new music and. Obviously Idol, having their farewell season. It should be fun going back on the show this year. So, new music and a lot of touring. I hope to see you at a local spot playing music somewhere soon.
Absolutely. So where can everybody stay in touch then? Your social media, Twitter, Facebook, all those?
Twitter, Facebook, the whole 9 yards, Taylor Hicks.
We'll be sure to check it out. Well, thanks so much for calling in and celebrating with us, and Merry Christmas to you, Taylor. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well. Take care.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
Jeremy Bradley back here on The Scribble. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Now, I always say that like it's a radio show where you could be tuning in halfway. You downloaded this. You clicked play on this. That's how you're listening. So I don't always have to recap what's happened in case you missed it. 9.5 years on radio, folks. That's what it does. At only, what are we now, 43 weeks into the Scribble podcast. It's a little bit different. When we started doing this, I kind of laughed, going, well, it's like radio, just a smaller version of it. But there are some differences. So, again, you just heard Joy Behar and Taylor Hicks, who called in for our 500th broadcast earlier this month. So, Christmas is right around the corner. Our next, this show is always uploaded on Fridays, so the next one is on Christmas. And I don't expect many people to be tuned in for that. But if you wanted to escape from your family and you're sick of playing on your cell phone, you could always just listen to the Scribble podcast. That is true. And, again, I haven't finished my Christmas shopping. But, I really, it's not that I don't care about my family members, it's just that I don't care for shopping, and that's a big part of it. So if I could just have a Christmas where we all just say, no gifts, we're just going to get together, and they end up saying that every year. I'm going to be honest with you, my family has said that for many years, but there's still gifts for the nieces, the nephews, and everybody. So then when you don't bring something for them, you then look like the dick, even though the grown-ups at Thanksgiving said, no gifts this year, we're not exchanging. So then when you follow the rule and you don't pay up and get them something, nobody says that you're a dick. Nobody calls you a dick and says, oh, Uncle JB didn't but it's just implied because everybody comes in with gifts and you come in with no gifts. How do you not feel that way, right? Would love to hear about your family politics at the holidays. Send me an email, jb@jbonair.com, jb@jbonair.com. Do you have any family traditions? We were talking with Taylor Hicks about his midnight mass and things like that. I haven't gone to church in probably a good 25 years, so I can't say that I do that anymore, but I can tell you that I do enjoy Christmas Eve at my parents' house playing Nintendo Wii bowling. My mom makes the vodka slushes. She has two, gets tipsy, starts razzing my dad. It ends up becoming a really fun night. And so that's one thing that I look forward to. I also enjoy her sugar cookies. I also enjoy... What else do I like? I like eggnog. My brother got us those National Lampoons, the moose mug? And I actually just saw those on TV the other day. He got me and his wife, my sister-in-law, he got us those last year. And the reason was that he said that I enjoy eggnog with booze in it. And the truth was that I didn't. And so... He was very excited that he got me this moose mug thing because I was going to have eggnog with my sister-in-law. And she said that she doesn't remember me drinking eggnog like that, and sure enough, I hadn't. So my brother was a little bit disappointed, and I felt pressured into drinking. And that's that peer pressure, or brotherly pressure that he did put on me that year. So that's something now that we've got a tradition, is that we'll take our mugs to my parents' house on Christmas Day, and we drink out of those. So that's something else that we do. Now, on Boxing Day, this would be the day after Christmas for our American friends. You might not know what Boxing Day is. Our friends in the UK and throughout Canada know. Boxing Day is December 26th. That's Canada's sort of Black Friday. I don't know of any fistfights and brawls that happen. That's more of an American thing on Black Friday. Black and Blue, we really should call it now. But Boxing Day, then, we get together with my dad's side of the family, and we rent a hall, and we, go full-on turkey and everything again. And then the day after that, December 27th, we don't have a name for that. We should just call it we should call it almost Jewish a day, because, you know, we're spreading out now, how many, 3-4 days. We then get together with my mom's side of the family, and we have another turkey dinner, and again, more presents that should not be there, and we have a big family get-together. So 4 days of Christmas in our celebrations. Tell me about your plans this year, jb@jbonair.com, or you can also tweet us at The Scribble Show. Actually, and my Twitter is at SF, as in Speak Free, Celebwatch. At SF Celebwatch is my Twitter. So The Scribble Show on Twitter and at SF Celebwatch. All right, we've got a few more minutes. You know what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back right after this.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 41.com. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom41.com.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
JB here, back on The Scribble. I caught them all off guard, by the way, by throwing to commercial there, but the secret was that I actually had to sneeze and then blow my nose after that, and so it brought me back to a time when, see, there's a story for everything here. Do you remember back in the day when you used to be able to cough into your hand or sneeze into your hand and you wouldn't be looked at as a freak? Now you've got to do the whole elbow, shoulder sort of sneeze and cough, and you can't do it anywhere near your hands. That was before gluten was the new trendy thing, or transgender was the trendy thing. But I miss those days when you could just sort of cough and people didn't look at you as though you were spreading some sort of weird disease. Oh, yes, times were different back then, weren't they? It just really does make me feel old when I have these little flashbacks. Call me on the rotary phone if you're still old enough to know what that is. It's funny to watch shows. I watch WKRP in Cincinnati on the airplane when we do our travel shows, and you know, it's kind of funny because I'm in radio. That show's about radio, and to see how things, you know, they had the record players or turntables, I guess they're called now, that they would go from one record player to the other when they were switching songs and things. And for us here, we don't even hear the music. We just see that it's playing on a computer screen, and then we're good to go. Totally different world. Totally different world. Well, I want to take a moment to thank everybody who has made this show possible in 2015. I want to wish you I'm going to say Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, well, I'm not worried about offending you, so just take it as a well-wishing and don't piss on my holiday. I'm not singling out any particular belief or religion, but, you know, if somebody says happy birthday to you and it's not your birthday, does that offend you? I don't know. Merry Christmas. That was the common holiday that most people celebrated, so that's what I celebrate. I'm going to wish you a happy Merry Christmas as well. But happy holidays at the same time, because the new year is right around the corner, and I think that we might have some fun next week by looking back at some of the big entertainment stories of 2015. Lots has happened, and you know, some of the stuff you might not even remember, but then when we refresh your memory, it'll all come back to you. And we're going to talk about the big celebrity highs and lows of this year, because it certainly was a very interesting year. And not just for the Kardashians, let me tell you. Though it was a very interesting year in terms of Kim and Kanye's new baby, Scott and Kourtney splitting, and Caitlyn Jenner and Kris Jenner dating the guy who's 60 years younger than her, or whatever it is. So yes, we'll talk about that, but there's been a whole lot of other stories in the news this year. So we're going to recap that. That'll start on Christmas, and it'll take us right up until the end of the year. And then it's 2016 already. Isn't that ridiculous? So hopefully you will have made well, your workout plan, because that always seems to be a New Year's resolution, isn't it? That you want to, I'm going to stop smoking, I'm going to start working out more. Everybody says it. Not many people do it. But definitely I hope you do have a very safe and happy holiday season. So we're back here on the Scribble. Remember, you can always check out our daily entertainment headlines at entertainmentwrapup.com, entertainmentwrapup.com, and the celebrity guests that we've had on top of the charts and the open road are at speakfreecelebwatch.com. That's speakfreecelebwatch.com. And our radio shows are on jbonair.com and jbcountry.com. I'm just a link whore today. And if you're still Christmas shopping, go to speakfreebooks.com and take a look at the books that we have there. Put Down Your Damn Phone Already and The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate. Both bestsellers. My name is Jeremy Bradley, and this is The Scribble. Feel free to give me a shout anytime. Always awesome hearing from you. jb@jbonair.com is my email address. jb@jbonair.com. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a Speak Free media presentation.
If you want some real heat,